Facebook. Okay, hold on. Everybody's texting me. He's like, I can't find it.
It's an impact, so we'll be there.
There we are. We're there.
Yay, we're here. That's awesome.
We're to rock and rolls. Sorry, guys, for delay. We had technical problems today.
It never fails, right? You always fail forward. That's what I say.
Amen.
So we're doing Rev Up Your Rev Share, and we have Craig LePage and John Padone. All of y'all know them both. We wanted to really help you learn how to build your Rev Share group and attract agents to the company. And John and I've been doing a lot of calls lately, and Craig too. So John,
we're living inside Zoom lately.
Yeah, we are. That's all I see you is in Zoom.
Yeah.
John,
so why don't we start out with like you guys talking about like what you've been doing and your approach and just kind of starting the relationships and how you kindle them into actual conversations.
Yeah. So do you want me to start off with that, Shelly? I'm more than happy to.
Go for it.
So I think what is guys, first of all, thanks for jumping on for us. I mean, this is amazing that we're able to collaborate together inside of an organization and just try to help each other all grow together. Myself and Shelly have been doing a lot of calls together. So, I'm a big component of trying to critique yourself and make sure you're better during your conversations. And also making sure that when you're jumping on that Zoom call with somebody else, you're getting that right yin and yang partner to work with. And I think that me and Shelly have done a great job together of just trying to, everybody's good at certain things, but what I've learned, again, especially this past 6 weeks, that's really important is I'm a big component of wordplay. And I think, going back and I'm always trying to critique myself, even from a prospecting standpoint, when you're prospecting with your clients, but is getting rid of those negative words. So I wanted to kind of run through some of those words and me and Shelly have talked about this, and the word sponsor, a lot of times during agent attraction, or some of us would say, to me, it's a bad word. I don't look at anybody that's in our organization as a sponsor. I look at them as partners and business partners. So Craig and Shelly are my business partners. They, I made a decision to be part of them because number one, I liked them as a person. I thought they were business minded, but I thought they would be good partners for myself to be in business with. So going forward, I would just say that if you're talking to another agent and, the first thing that comes into their mind is sponsorship, I want you to correct them and say, listen, I'm not looking to sponsor somebody. I'm looking for a business partner that is like-minded like me, and then we want to grow together. I think that's really important. Another one that I've learned too, and Brent's helped me out with this. Last time I was on a Zoom with Brent Shelley, he brought this up a lot. I thought this was a good nugget. The downline and upline is a negative word. So when you're talking to an agent and you say, hey, listen, I have that person in my downline, or I want you to speak to the person in my upline, don't use those words, because we're together. We're linked arms together. So we want to use the word organization. That is such a better word. And we should be proud of the organization that we've all created together, and Craig and Shelly have spearheaded an impact. So we need to lean on that. What we're doing today with everybody is we're trying to grow together. So you have such a huge support unit inside of EXP and impact. We all care about each other for a better business. So use that word organization versus downline and upline. Another negative, there's 4 of them I picked, guys, so just bear with me just a second.
Oh, that's perfect.
Another one is recruitment. I hate that word recruitment, right? I'm not looking to recruit an agent. I'm looking to attract an agent and change their lives, like this company and the people I'm around and partner with have changed my business and my life. So agent attraction is a lot better than the word recruitment. Another one too, and Brian Saldarani mentioned this to me actually today, which I thought about this. Instead of saying like, hey, we have stock options, which we do, right? We love the stock's bonkers right now. But if you could say, listen, ownership in the company, I think that's so much better. And then explain how that ownership is. So I want to kind of Shelley, if you're okay, I want to kind of go through a bullet point when I'm first talking to an agent.
I love that.
So for an agent, if an agent's looking at one of my properties that I have listed, right? And I feel like I have a conversation with them and they're a good agent. And again, I'm not going to partner just with anybody. I'm very selective who I want to surround myself around. It's not about putting bodies for me. It's about putting agents on that think like me. So the question that I would have to them is this, like, listen, and this is just a script, a simple script. If you thought you could be part of an organization and a firm that gave you a better value proposition for your business that could help you get more deals, ownership, stock options, a retirement plan, and a low-cost health insurance, would you be willing to take a look? It's a simple question. Now, if they reply back and they think about that and say, yeah, I would be willing to take a look, then the next thing that you should say to them is say, great, I love to introduce you to one of my business partners, blank, and whoever that blank is. We need to remember that we need to do this in threes. The one-on-one thing, your conversion rates will be really, really low. But if you do this in threes, it's going to go up much higher. So I want to introduce you to blank. Blank is amazing and very business-minded like us, such a true entrepreneur. I really believe you guys would get along great. The reason why we do this is to create excitement and put that potential person that you want to partner with in a position that they feel like they have to talk to that person because that person has value. When I'm going to get on a Zoom with Shelly, I am making Shelly, which I love Shelly. I mean, she by all rights, she runs her and Craig run a very successful business. I'm going to put her up on a pedestal so high that that person feels like they have to talk to that person, right? So it's building expectations of what that Zoom call is going to be like. Once they commit and they say, yes, I'm willing to get on a Zoom call, the next step is, great. Are you free to jump on a Zoom call within the next 3 days? Don't postpone this thing out.
Yep.
It should be within a short period of time, okay? Then the next thing you're going to say, and some people are going to disagree with me about this, but I'm a high D, so my attention span has to be short because I know Brent wants to show us the model explained, and I love the model explained, but I'm just trying to give them a taste. So it says, great, once they commit to the Zoom call, I'm going to get that scheduled, and I'm going to circle back to you here shortly. In the meantime, what I like to do is send you a 9 quick-minute video that just scratches the surface on the EXP model. We're going to dig in so much deeper on the model and how it's affected our business to run a better business together and all the amazing things that we're doing with all of our partners across the world and inside of our organization. You have to separate us. And I think what the support unit that we have and impact in the organizations that we have surrounding us is that we support the people that we have. It's just, we don't want to let people think that, well, hey, they're off on an island by themselves, because that's the furthest thing from the truth. There's a lot of collaboration going on. Look what's going on today. So you have to leverage that, your partners that you have around you, of how you're going to go about doing this. So once they send a 9-minute video, they watch it, they have a rough idea, and then it's up to you and your business partner of breaking down and just telling their story why, and trying to understand their business and how EXP could affect their business. And so forth. I got an amazing text last night from the Cheney group up in Asheville, who's part of our organization, right? And I want to read this to you. And this is a heart, and I don't know if Susan's on this live or not, and I'm going to blow her up because I just want to share this, what she sent out, or what she's going to start sending out to her agents. I thought this was so powerful here. Just bear with me just 1 second. I got everybody blown up my text here, so I'm trying to find it. So this was a simple text that she sent out, and she's talking to agents that she's going to go after, right? She's telling her story. She's like, hey girl, it's been almost a year. It's been such a crazy year for Liz and I since we left KW. Everyone has been successful. Some asked me the other day if I regretted the decision. Let me be super clear. 0 regrets, 0 drama. And one side note, Liz and I both put 5% of our commission into buying stock. It's a publicly traded company. After all, they just bought Success Magazine, and they have virtual platform called Revella that is going off the charts because of COVID. So I know Liz missed some of her profit share. It was no big deal, but not anymore. Check it out. Here's a screenshot of the investment with EXP from the 13th, and then again from today. Note that the invested amount is what has been gifted to me from EXP recruitment, and then hitting icon status, basically selling 20 additional homes after I reached the 16 cap. It's absolutely uncharted territory for both myself and Liz. This has nothing to do with recruitment. This is another avenue to financial growth, but neither one of us did much of recruiting. But now I love this. But now I want business partners, people that are high thinkers and investors, superb realtors that see the bigger picture. After the screenshots, I still had a GCI of over 320K that I made flat out, but the stock just paid my taxes. And my friend, this is simply astounding. So I would love to share this with you. I suck at recruitment. It's not my forte, but I can share my success, and I want those I care and love around me to thrive just as much as we have this past year. I thought that was amazing.
Stellar.
Yeah. And it's the truth, right?
It's hard. It's from the heart. It's
so like, we're just sharing our stories. So guys, I think the psychology between a lot of agents that say, well, I'm not a recruiter, it's not about recruiting. I keep saying to everybody, listen, for years, the franchise owners have leveraged us, right? The only thing different about the EXP model is that, listen, if you love the company and you find an agent that you feel that could benefit from our platform and our company, bring them in as your business partner and introduce them to the company. They've left it up to the agents, right? So we're the ones out there doing deals with each other. Yep. We're the ones out there building relationships. Right. And so why the companies turned the table and said, we should leave that up to our agents. If they love the company, we're going to grow organically. Stock is bonkers. We're going to double an agent count this year. I mean, like, to me, when I'm looking at it, the technology platform is the best in the industry. Even if you take revenue share out of the picture, we still run the best platform in real estate. It just added benefits for us. So anyway, I love to talk. I'm going to let Shelly talk a little bit because you guys know I can go on forever. And
I think that was awesome. I know Craig thought that was awesome too. Yeah.
Let me say one thing before I forget, Shelly. Like, I mean, and Shelly can basically, vouch for this as well. Like at our former brokerage, I mean, every person that they were recruiting to that company, they would basically parade them through and stop at our cubicle, and they would introduce us to them, and we would talk things up and say, we're here to help. We'll do anything that you need. And then, a lot of times they reach back out to us for help. They would join the company, and it was like, thanks, and that all went to the franchise owner. So to John's point, we're doing is the same thing, but now as agents, we get to benefit from that instead of building that franchise and building someone else's legacy.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, Craig, because I was thinking about the other day. I was thinking about how many times, even when I was in KW down in Florida, they would say, oh, well, this is the agent of the month and come give a speech. And you don't realize you're doing it. I mean, obviously you want to give back, but what do you get from that?
Yeah.
So now it's like I tell everybody the truth. I have the best real estate partners in the business. To have a Craig and Shelley, to have everybody else that is connected in our organization, I truly feel like there's so much value where I can learn from everybody, and we just pour in each other. And the crazy thing, it's not just in our market area. Like, we're outside of the area. We can learn from people that are, the way that they run real estate in Miami, I'm telling you, is totally different than here. So in New York City, so we can collaborate and learn from all these successful agents all over the world. We could never do that before. The ceiling was like, okay, well, there's so many producers in the agent and you're learning from them same people, but you're not learning something new, right? So it's been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, on that point, John, I mean, Shelley and I have tripled our business in 3.5 years. Our production tripled it.
Yeah.
Just based on that primarily collaboration and the tools that EXP offers, and being able to reinvest in our team, in our business, it just makes you fast forward so much more. And to your point, the collaboration, I mean, now worldwide, and the ideas that all of these other top agents that make us look like a little tiny speck in the universe, you know, we're a big player here, but like in this company, I mean, there's people that dwarf us, that offer us, you know, all their tips and everything that they do to grow their business. And that's really helped us blow up to another level that we never, ever would have had inside a little brick and mortar in Cornelius.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Like even when I was in the Florida market, when I first got into real estate, you know, I hit Rookie of the Year there, but I really didn't collaborate with too much for people in the office. I would have to go out to Miami and be around agents that were outside of the firm, take them out to lunch and write down notes and pick their brain. And so I've always learned that in my career, that if you want to get better, you have to, lions run with lions, right? We're not gazelles. I love that analogy. Like the lions run the lions. And if you stay with lions and you surround yourself with the right people, you guys will all grow together. And that's what I think we're doing now. And it's amazing.
You know, you think of all of the national events we used to go to, and EXP has national events as well, which is great. But when we go to national events, I mean, we already know everybody because we collaborate with them every day through all the different tech platforms that EXP offers. But when we were at other, you know, companies, you would go to that national event and you would come back fired up. And you were like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I met this person and has so many great ideas. And then you kind of fall back into the rut that you always were in. But at this company, it allows us to have that national event basically every day because we all collaborate at a high level.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree 100%. I think what it is obviously when everybody's linked up together and everybody's excited. I mean, the stock went up like almost 17% yesterday, right? We're going to split. Like we have skin in the game. We have ownership. So when you have ownership in a company and everybody's connected together, you all want to do better things together. So that is the big psychological thing that I think that, you know, there's so much excitement about EXP and what's going on, and the people with the company, they get it. So why wouldn't you want to share that the same feeling that you feel inside about all the great things this company is doing? Why wouldn't you want to share that to another colleague of yours and grow together and let them experience that? So me and Shelly were on a Zoom call the other day, right? Shelly, remember this? And I was biting my tongue because I wanted to get through that call. So the person said to me, like, I think Shelly asked the question, like, what do you know about EXP? And the person said, well, I know that they're just all about recruiting agents and not selling any real estate, right? Because that's what they think, because that's what their brokerage have taught them.
Yep.
So I'm biting my tongue because I can't wait to talk. Now this is in our market, right? We all know that we're number one in our market. We sold what, 1.3 billion or something last year. I didn't run the 2020 numbers, but I know the previous year. So I'm waiting for the time. I said, listen, I understand that, you know, you're concerned, but this is something that I want to step you through. When they got off that call with us, they were flabbergasted. There was so misinformation given to them, and they're joining. I just got a text last night, Shelly. He's coming over. So, and that's a good team. So they're just trying to get some of the details worked out. But what happened is when you start peeling back the onion and the layers, and then you do it in a casual conversation and you show them the way, it's amazing.
The key is asking questions. So we a lot of times we want to just go at them with everything we know. And it's really important to start out with, it's about them and their thoughts. Because what if we hadn't asked that question, then we wouldn't have known what they thought, so that we could overcome the objection. So it's really important to ask the questions when you're on the Zoom call with the person who's helping you validate, whether it's Craig, myself, or whoever you find that person, or John, or whoever. You know, ask the question, and you have to find common ground with people as well. So you have to show them you understand who they are. So, you know, if you're talking about yourself and how it relates to your life and your business and what happened to you, I mean, yeah, you want to show those stories, but you want to help them know how it relates to them and their family, and it's going to change their life. So John and I just have a lot of fun on these calls. I mean, I think it's a blast. Like we really have a blast on them.
It's funny because every time I get off, I'm I want to get better with my conversations. So as I'm going through the calls, I take constructive criticism very well, because how do you get better if you don't, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll say to Shelly, or, Kevin, Shelly's husband, and say, what could I have done better? Right? You always want to do that. So what I would recommend is, like anything, is like when you're talking to people, start making notes down. Like as you're doing this, like, should I said this differently? Did that point come across the correct way? You just get better and better. And then pretty soon you have all the objections down in your mind, because there's only so many objections, right? And then you go through that. Well, so I just think I think also too, when you're talking to agents too, I don't think anybody never put down another firm, right? We don't need to do that. Like I've talked to so many, all of us being from KW, I still have respect for KW. I have respect for every firm, but this firm is just a better place to run a business in my mind, for my family and for my business. So never knock another firm. Don't put a firm down. I think don't be overly aggressive with an agent. An agent, you don't have to be aggressive you can just have a casual conversation with them. And I do believe this too. And I think that this is owed to anybody that you end up bringing over the company. Anybody that's surrounded me, and Shelley and Craig and these guys are this think like us, you owe it to them to help them. If you're just going to sign somebody up and just walk away from them, then I don't think that you should be attracting agents. I'm just being honest. Like, if you're looking to help that agent, and actually, I'm not saying you got to spend hours upon a day, but at least direct them where they need to go. Direct them where the coaching is. Direct them how they can use workplace and workplace chat. Help them out, and you'll build better relationships that way.
Yeah, the resources are there, and that's a great point, John. Is direct them. You don't have to be that mega agent mindset, or have all the answers. The answers are there for you. The resources are there for you. Match them with people that you feel they would match well with. Introduce them. They need to feel like they're a part of something. We all want to be a part of something. And when you're a part of something, you grow a lot faster. I'll say Shelley mentioned, listen to them. That is extremely important. I think John said it as well. Why don't you guys elaborate a little bit more on, the different types of calls that you've had with different types of agents and what their hot buttons are, because it's hard for a lot of people not to throw up EXP on people. And sometimes people go down like, oh, stock, revenue share. And they're like, I don't even know what that is. I want to build my business. And if you go down the wrong path, you might as well just hang up the phone. So elaborate on that a little bit more.
Yeah. What John always says, like he'll be like, I want to be your business partner. He really focuses on the partnership, the value of the relationship. So when he's talking to them, he'll share, like we take what we have in our lives to help relate with other people. And he has a daughter who's 9, who he adores. And one of his big goals is time freedom to have with his wife and his daughter. So, that's what this company provides. And a lot of people are looking for just that. And I think we just try to figure out where that is in their life. John, you want to elaborate too?
Yeah. So, I share the story because it just, obviously, it depends on what agent you're talking to. If you're talking to an agent that's doing 125 units a year, their goals are different than an agent that is doing 6 or 5 deals a year. So you just got to understand who you're talking to. And a lot of times I'll give Shelley a heads up before we're getting on a Zoom call of what we're going into, right? Because I think that's important for her to have a background on the person. If it's a husband and wife team, or what their goals are, like I'll try to get a feeler out there. But I think Shelley does a great job of, she does a phenomenal job of connecting. She's such a connector. And she's like, well, I want to learn about you, right? And so I've already introduced Shelley and saying, Shelley, I want to introduce you to Shelley. I'm so excited. Shelley is phenomenal. And I'll give her a quick background on Shelley and why she's so amazing. So in their mindset, they're like, oh, this is Shelley. I got to listen. Shelley knows I got to listen to Shelley. So then Shelley's like, well, I want to learn about you. Like, can you tell us a little about, like, what's your goal? So as they're talking, you're taking notes of how they could fit into our model.
Yep.
if it's an agent, we have, and Shelley knows this, we have plenty of agents in the network that came in that were doing 4 deals and they're doing 20 this year. We helped them do that. They put the work in, don't get me wrong, but we guided them where they had to focus on and so forth. Like go sit down with so-and-so. Like we have some amazing talent and let them pour into you for 10 minutes. So we directed them. So maybe that agent's goal is to grow a better business, right? There's other agents that are doing so many deals and are like, I'm working my butt off and I'm never seeing my kids or anything. And then so I could look at that because I understand real estate and say, okay, well, your buyer and your seller ratios, 75% buyer and 25% listings. How can I help you focus and do a shift and focus more on listings? And let me show you some of the systems I'm using. So you just have to look at it and try to figure out what is a good fit for them. Leveraging KV Core is huge, right? Like not everybody's going to prospect like some of us prospect in the mornings, right? They're just not built that way. But I know plenty of agents that are killing it in social media. I mean, look at Lauren Rocco's with us.
Yeah.
Katen's another one. She's a young rock star coming up, and I love Kate and Laura. I mean, they're doing phenomenal things, and but I think there's so much talent surrounding us inside of our organization, EXP. We could guide them of who we think that perfect fit is for them to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, the two ends of the spectrum, I mean, you just hit it on the head. I mean, you've got the agent that's been in the business or the industry for 15 years and is doing 125 units. And their goal is, I'm burnt. I don't want to do more. I mean, I need to make this money.
Yeah.
So that's a different conversation than Sally, who's 1 year into the business and did 3 million last year, and she wants to do 9 million this year. Two totally different conversations. And that's obviously why you need to listen. And I find it interesting, like the whole structure of this, what John said is you do it in threes, is he's framing and setting up the connection, getting that preliminary information, framing it up, and then matching that person, in this instance of Shelley or whoever is a good fit for them. Shelley has the back end information about where to what path to go down. Shelley opens up and makes it about them. And when you make it about people and you find a common ground, like Shelley said, the common ground is the floodgate, because then they're like, oh yeah, we do this, we do that. You start comparing, you've been there, I've been there. And then they just start spewing about themselves, their lives, their heartaches, their challenges, what you need. Then you know about them, and then you know exactly how to help them. And that's what you guys are doing.
One of the things I like to do when we're on a call is to get them to smile or laugh right away. Because if you can get someone to laugh or smile right away, you build a bond faster. So, if you can do that even in a text message where you make them laugh, or something that you can make them, not take yourself so serious, I think that really helps build that relationship too. Just little things. I learned that from Chris Boss. That wasn't a Shelley thing, but I kind of do that because I'm goofy anyways. Well,
it's no different than when you go on a listing appointment. It's like I tell everybody, it's like, how are your conversion rates on listing appointments? And I'm like, listen, the first 10 minutes, I'm not even talking about the house with them. I'm trying to connect with them. I'm trying to find an end of getting their defenses down. And I think once you get their defenses down and they find out that you're human and you can connect with them, and I think Shelley does a phenomenal job like this. She's such a good connector. Then their defenses go down. Then they're willing to talk more naturally, and it's just a conversation then, and you're having fun. You're talking about different things and how this company's changed our lives and who we're all connected to, and how we have such great partners in this business. And then they start realizing, like, man, I want to be in business with these people, and it's the truth. Like, so listen, don't get me wrong, guys. There's times that we've been on Zoom calls and me and Shelley was like, I just don't think that this person's a good fit. I hate to say, and I don't know if I could be connected to this person. Yeah. So I'm not saying, like, that's the reason why what I said is, like, it's not about, for me personally, it's not about putting on bodies. It's about putting on the right people that I want to grow with. And if you do that, you have that good energy and synergy, and you're just going to do amazing things together.
Yeah.
So
it's more fun to do it with somebody who wants to run with you than you feel like you're dragging down the track. When you have somebody who is like, sees the value in the relationship you have with them, and they like go, okay, let's run together. I mean, that's a blast. I mean, that's why I love Craig and John, and now working with Lee and Bill and other people. I mean, they want to run with you. And there's so many people in our organization I love working with, you know, and when they show up, it's like, oh, you just know they're your people. It's fun.
Yeah. And another thing I want to point on too, and I can contest to this, guys, listen, it's not too late. A lot of us say, well, we missed the boat, you know, that was easy because the 3 years ago it had been easier to bring on agents, right? To be honest with you, I don't, listen, I'm the first one, and Shelley and Craig will say this, like, I did not even look at revenue share till last year, right? And actually this year is more of a focus for me because I was so involved with other things that I wasn't focusing on it. But then I was like, you know what? You're only good as your last deal. And yes, you're successful as an agent and you have other investments and everything. But I've been around so many good people this past year that have been my business partners and seen them grow and prosper that, you know, it's fun and exciting to do that. So I think, to be honest with you, the tools are there now that give a better story than they were even 3 years ago. Stocks going bonkers. Technology and onboarding has gotten better, right? Collaboration is there. We're growing all across the world, the fastest growing real estate company in the world. A lot of you guys, I don't know, but I don't know if you use, I use CRM Grow to organize my database for the agents, which keeps me a little more organized. So there's tools out there that we could use. And if you guys could write that down, it's called crmgrow.com. It's basically $30 a month, and it keeps everybody organized. You can use canned videos and just figure out who you've been talking to and so forth, and share videos with them. But I think there's more of an opportunity now because people are looking at it more now.
Yeah, before people were nervous about it, and they were, you know, now it's kind of undeniable that the stock's doing really well. We're publicly traded. People are more and more top agents are coming to the company. I mean, every day, top agents are looking at this company going, I need to be there. This makes business sense. And there's enough of agents like that now, and it's for every agent. It's for new agents, experienced agents. There's great programs for brand new agents in this company. There's great programs for everybody that wants to grow their business. The biggest thing is plug in. The more engaged you are in the company, the more you're going to actually benefit from the tools, the resources, and the collaboration. So just get plugged in and be a part of everything we're doing, and we'll help you as best we can. I mean, that's the goal. So one thing I wanted to say real quick was go back, if you can rewatch the beginning of this video. What John Padone gave you today was gold. Like, I have never heard someone make it so clear and concise on exactly what you need to do to agent attract. Do not overcomplicate it. Do not get in your own head and try to do it differently. He is killing it. This guy is getting great agents on the calls without us, and we are having great conversations, and we're able to convert these agents, and then we're supporting those agents after they come on. So just know we're here to support you. Go back and rewatch the beginning of this video, and then next week we'll come back with you with more tools, more tips, and more things to do to grow your rev share group. So if you need help in your real estate business, that's what we do first. But this is your passive income. And remember this, to get a $3,000 a month passive income, you'd have to have a $900,000 investment doing 5% return. So think about that. That could be a lifetime for some people to save $900,000 to get a $3,000 a month return. That's an income earner in your household. That's why Craig and I initially looked at this company and thought it would be a great opportunity for all of us together, and we want it for you. So let us help you. We're here to help. John, everybody, there's so many great people. Kathy Burns is just a rock star, and we will all help you. So you guys have any last words? Those are just the things I wanted to.
Yeah, so I just want to say this real quick to some of the agents that haven't dabbled into bringing partners over agent attractions. Is you got to write yourself down a goal, right? So you have to put down, like, your goal should be 5 in your front line. That should be your focus. And then I want to say something is, like, your laser focus, and it doesn't mean you have to spend hours a day. It could be 30 minutes a week. It's just something to get you going. But think about this, guys. If you got 5 agents in your front line, and say they're not all have to be cappers, say they're doing something, and then you get another agent that gets it like this, and pretty soon you have 30 agents, right? And then you have secondary income that's coming in $2,000 to $3,000 a month. say, you could just pump that right back into your business and run more ads to fuel your real estate business.
Yep.
So it's just so in your mind, don't overwhelm yourself and say, listen, I want to go out and get 50 agents. Yeah. Just focus on getting the 5, work with those 5, and then you'll see the value there. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get another 5.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but
I'll say, I mean, you guys all have relationships with people that we don't have relationships with. So if Shelly were to call them, or I were to call them, or John were to call them, they may not give us the time of day, but you have that insight in that relationship at some level with a number of agents. So maybe start with them and don't get discouraged. It's, you know, sometimes it's a long play. But if they start watching you and they say, I'm not interested, and they start watching more of what you're doing and how you're growing and the people you're involved with, believe me, they are watching. And at some point, if you stay in touch with them and ask them how they're doing and be personable, you're going to be the person that they think of when they're deciding to make that jump.
Awesome.
So thank you guys. I'm going to end this for us for this week. Next week, we're going to be 30 minutes. These are going to be quick, great tools for you all to use. And excited to do this with these guys. It's going to be fun. We'll have guest speakers on. You're going to get different perspectives. We're going to have this is going to be really a great resource for you. So have an awesome week.
Awesome.
See you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks.